Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Build Season 2, baby. Woohoo! We're finally getting this started. And I am super excited because you guys voted. Yes, you did. I did a video asking you guys which style of a map I should do. And you all voted, and the winner is... Puzzle map! Yes, we're going to be doing a puzzle map, but not just any puzzle map. No, we are also taking the runner-up. We are doing a puzzle adventure map. That means story, yes, and puzzles, yes, and traps, yes. Possibly. It should be quite fun. And I have an idea. So let's go ahead and I'm going to clear all this crap up. Maybe I'll leave that in there. I'll leave that there as kind of like a little, like, you know, a secret thing I guess you guys can find from downloading the map, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I will see you all in just a moment. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do to make this puzzle map slash adventure map is to come up with the idea and then set up a beginning and an end. That way we have a timeline of how everything will work, and then we start filling in the in-between. So the beginning and the end are obviously the most important things. Everything in between is filler. That's mostly how I figured we can do this. Excuse me. So here's the story that I was thinking, and I wanted to do something a long time ago that had to do with entities that would complete the puzzle for you. But at the time that I planned on this, there wasn't much you can really do with entities. For example, there was no @E selector. So yeah, now that there is the @E selector for 1.8, we have a lot more that we can do for entities. And I think that's what I have in mind. So basically, if you don't know what I'm talking about, excuse me, is I did the same example in a previous video quite a while ago. But you kind of have a skeleton. Okay, here's what I'll do. You have skeleton / game mode 0. Okay, so you're in game mode 0. There's a skeleton, and if you can somehow lead him into here. Hey, get in this shade, not that shade. Get in that shade. Okay. Basically, the idea was if you can get a skeleton to follow you and get underneath shade and on a pressure plate, then he successfully completed the map for you, or that level. So the idea is the player is controlling the mobs to make or to complete the puzzle for the player. Does that make any sense at all? I hope so. That's kind of the idea, but I also want to do something a little bit more complicated than that. So what I'm thinking is I have a little platform up here. Let's say that there is a gap. We'll just make a gap here. And the player for some reason can't jump over that gap. So the player starts here, and we give the player the eggs so that they can lay out the eggs wherever they want. That will eventually complete the puzzle. When the puzzle is complete, the gap is filled, and they're able to walk across and get into the next stage. So it's not always just crossing something. Sometimes it can be a door. Sometimes this can just lead to more parts of the same puzzle, and so on. So think of it somewhat as Portal, but without the portal guns. Without the fun part. Yeah, I think that would be a pretty cool little way of doing things. Now, I do also have a story in mind for that. Well, more of like a plot twist not necessarily a full story, but basically the player starts out right here in the beginning as a helper. You're basically recruited to help the science team, this team of scientists, whatever, do some tests on some mobs. And at the end of the video, you find out that you're not helping them do a test, you are the test. And this whole time they have been testing humans. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you guys wanted to play the map. You guys should not be watching the making of the map. So yeah, basically you start off as helping scientists. You find out that they're actually doing the tests on you and forcing you to do it basically forever. So it's similar to the idea of Portal, but we're kind of making it more Minecrafty instead of so Portal-y. If that makes any sense. And of course you guys can leave suggestions to improve the story as we go along. So let's go ahead and write this down. We'll put player is asked to help do some tests on mobs. So somewhere around here, I guess, would be like the plot twist. Player discovers they are the ones being tested, not the mobs. And then player escapes the lab, I guess. Yeah, player escapes the lab. So for instance, right here, everything in between is going to be puzzles. Puzzles galore. And we're going to start off slow, start off very simple with the puzzles, and then eventually get really hard with the puzzles. And then from here at the plot twist, we will use what we learned from the puzzles, because we're going to have our own mechanics into it as well. We'll use what we learned here to help us escape from the lab. Yeah, I think that'll be fair, right? Sounds like a good idea to me. Okay, so now we need to start coming up with a few ideas or mechanics that will go into the puzzles. So for instance, let's say that when a slime is on top of, or you know what, here I kind of have an idea. /clear, let's get this going. So this is a clock. It's a pretty nice clock. It's basically just replacing the wool with redstone blocks and replacing the redstone blocks with wool, so that way if we want we can just break it and that's still running as a clock. Say hi. See? Pretty cool. F3D. Alright, so what we want to do first is make it so that when the player has, let's say, a zombie and then they spawn it in, it will be in what is the word? It will have no AI. So it will stay standing there until the player hits or clicks on something to start it. And then once the puzzle starts, that is when the mobs start moving, and hopefully if you did it correctly, you'll complete the challenge. Right? I think that sounds like a good idea. So let me go ahead and get started with a little bit of this. Alright everyone, so I did a bit of work. I brought in this contraption here, which is my right click detection using the dies, and I used a start, a reset, and a pause feature. So far only pause works, but I think you guys might like it. Actually, it's not pause anymore. I forgot that I changed it to turn or switch. But anyway, let me go ahead and show you guys what I've been doing. So I have these commands here and I have all these commands here, and mainly what they do is they allow something pretty cool to happen. So what I'm going to do is just get this like that, and then let's get a block here with a door on it, and then a pressure plate. So that opens the door. Advanced redstone. And now we have these 2 chicken spawn eggs, test subject frozen and test subject. Test subject is normal chicken, moves around, does whatever it wants. Test subject frozen, however, stays in one spot. It has no AI, basically. So how can we use this to our advantage? Well, let's say that obviously we can't make that door, it just closes way too quickly. So we use the test subject frozen, we put that guy up here, and now let's come by the door, and now what we'll do is we'll switch the AI. He'll start falling down and we can go through the door. Pretty cool, right? And then if we wanted, we can actually switch his AI back and he'll stop moving. Now, I would have gone with another right-click detection, but the reason why I did this is because now I actually have a way of limiting the amount of times that you can switch it. So let's say there are like 5 doors and you can only switch it twice. So good luck trying to figure that one out, kind of thing, you know? This kind of opens up possibilities to create even bigger and cooler types of a what do you call it, puzzles than we originally had in mind, or at least that I originally had in mind. This does mean though that every mob that is going to be inside the testing chamber needs to be either called test subject or test subject frozen. I tried doing it with scoreboards and had a little trouble. I even brought in a friend to try to help me, and you know, he even had some trouble with it. We worked it out eventually, but we had to keep them with specific names, which really doesn't really matter to me, at least. But anyway, I do have these ones right here which allow us to basically use all the colors. All mobs can now freely move. Map reset kind of thing, and that just map reset is actually just resetting the puzzle. So those aren't in place yet, but they are there for future reference so that we can work on those. I also am wondering if I should leave any of these. I don't know if I'll actually be using any of them, but perhaps I'll just leave it here so that if I decided I wanted to use one later on, I could. And then if I don't use one at the end of everything, I'll just delete that one or whatever. Okay, so we got that done. And in fact, that is probably the simplest version of a test that we can do. So we can probably make that puzzle number 1 if we wanted to. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave this off here. This is kind of a planning and a getting everything together kind of thing. I know it might be a short video. I actually didn't check the time, but we're gonna end it off here. Now, at the end of every episode, I'm going to be asking you guys a question, and hopefully you guys will be able to either give advice or send something in maybe to help out with the project. So if you guys have any ideas of what you want to do for the puzzle map, or something that we should add in, something that I'm forgetting, or anything like that, you guys can leave those in the comments section below. And then at the end of the or actually in the beginning of the next episode, I will go in, check the comments, write down your comment in a book, say what I like about it, say what I don't like, and then I'll just, if I really like the idea, then I'll implement it into the map, and we can I'll give you guys credit at the end. Be sure to leave me your in-game name for Minecraft, because at the end I'll have a little credits room where with your player head on it and all that good stuff. So if you guys want to help out like that, you can. If you don't have a Minecraft account or something like that, unfortunately you won't be able to get your skin in if I choose your idea. However, I can just choose a generic skin, possibly like a command block player head model looking thing, and you guys can get your ideas still in like that. So you don't need a Minecraft account to be in the credits, but of course it does make it a lot more personalized if you do. So we got this guy here. His name's test subject frozen, so he's not moving. Now he's moving because his name is test subject. Cool. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this first episode where we talk about the new map and what we're going to be doing. And yeah, I cannot wait to get more into this, because this is just the beginning, folks. This is the tip of the iceberg. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!